Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our next episode in the new normal in government contracting. I'm Courtney Fairchild, President and CEO of Global Services, as you know, and I am so lucky to have with me today one of my very longtime friends and clients, Lisa Firestone, the President of Managed Care Advisors. Thanks for being with us, Lisa.
Of course, it's my pleasure.
So Managed Care Advisors is a wholly owned subsidiary of Sedgwick Public Sector and dedicated to providing superior claim services to federal agencies. For over 2 decades, Lisa has led her team in helping the federal government maximize employee health and productivity. And today, we're going to talk a little bit about innovation in government contracting. So I'm so glad to have you with me. And I miss you over the last couple of years. We have not gotten a chance to spend time together like we normally would. So let's talk about that for a second.
Sure.
Personally speaking, how have you handled the past 2 years, COVID, and the changes professionally that you've gone through in a really odd time?
Yeah. That's a complex question for me because I'm in the healthcare business. But when I look back on the last 2 years, I think what happened is, did I change as a leader? Did I change the way we lead business? Not really, but all of our values, missions, our focus have been heightened, a heightened sensitivity to listening to your colleagues. Not only are they remote, but they were dealing in a very interesting, scary world where, as healthcare professionals in the federal sector, it was extremely busy. So, I think it was just a heightened sense of listening, communicating, taking care of their mental health as well as their physical health, listening to our customers and understanding you're not just dealing with what happens at work, but you had to take into consideration what was happening in their personal life.
So MCA was recently acquired by Sedgwick.
Yes.
What can you tell us about your new capabilities and extended capabilities that you're offering beyond what MCA was previously offering?
Sure. Well, first of all, we're very excited because this is a company that we've worked with in the past, we're well aware of. One of the exciting innovations is we work in the workers' compensation space, which means we really go into action when people get injured. But now we have the capability of looking at prevention, safety, ergonomics, so that, yes, we're there, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to support employees that get injured or become ill on the job, including technology, including data analytics. But the really exciting part is, let's take that knowledge and have it come full circle and prevent injuries. How do we make things safer, better, more efficient? So with the job market the way it is now and very little unemployment, it's just critical that we have all of these pieces in place. So Sedgwick's known for those types of innovations. So that's just one area. We've grown a whole new division since September as well.
Wow, that's exciting and keeps you fairly busy, I assume.
That's why you haven't seen me or talked to me.
It is why I haven't seen or talked to you besides COVID, you're right. So let's talk about something. I think this is really interesting for small businesses because there is so much merger and acquisition, M&A, in the federal government contracting space. What is it like? Tell me what it was like both as a business owner, a leader, to mesh these two companies, your company cultures. We had just talked about, you went from being the boss to actually having a boss. There's a whole bunch that is involved with an M&A. So tell me what that feels like. And then also tell me what are some best practices for making sure that the mesh goes well.
So I knew right away that if it wasn't a good cultural fit, it wasn't going to work. So, understand what's important to you as an owner and you as a business. Number two, I wanted somebody that was looking to expand what we started, not pull it apart.
Mm.
So, those types of things, and I really dove into them. So interesting. We both have a culture, a caring culture.
Mm.
So their theme was caring counts. Ours was MCA cares. So it was kind of a match made in heaven.
So one of the things I know that you and I have talked about is some of the emerging technologies that you hope to integrate into your professional services
Yes,
providing over the next couple of years. Tell me about what those are and how they're going to impact your federal customers and help you do work more efficiently.
sure. And then at some point, I want to get back to the small business talk.
Yeah, okay. We can do that now. Let's go back.
Yeah, I just want to kind of finish that thought because, that's near and dear to my heart, right?
You
And it
bet.
always will be. And it's something that I'm looking forward to getting more involved in helping small businesses. But as you go into M&A and you go from a small or mid-sized business to large,
Mm.
it opens up just an incredible amount of opportunity because
Mm.
now you have to do small business subcontracting plans and you get the opportunity to grow the next segment of small businesses. So,
I love
those
that.
of you who will go through that, like I do, don't forget where you came from. You know, let's support the next generation of businesses.
That's exactly the right way to look at it, as opposed to seeing how hard it is to suddenly be a large business when you were used to competing in a woman owned small business pool. I think that is magnanimous and really helpful in terms of how to think about what that cycle should look like. I
Exactly.
think, they always say, you've got to put your hand back down after you get up the ladder, right? Like you're to bring the next companies up. And you've always been, as a former chair of the board of directors of Women Impacting Public Policy, you've always been dedicated to helping small businesses grow. And I appreciate that. Now you're in a really good position to continue to do that.
Correct. And they're going to help us win contracts and grow. So it's all
That's
flowing
the
around.
idea, right?
All right, now we can get back to
All
innovation.
right, let's talk about the
I do
innovation. Let's.
because it's just something that's so important. Innovation wise, it's incredible. We're a tech enabled company now. We own technology and we're growing it. And we have, with Sedgwick, a whole universe of innovation. We're using AI technology and machine learning, which is incredibly cool because what it's doing is it's making us more efficient.
Mhm.
How can we be more efficient and let systems do some of the work that we were doing administratively, which can lower costs for agencies? We're looking at reducing, error, securing information. So we're looking at it from so many factors. Again, what we do is really add efficiency, effectiveness to government. So we're doing that with a lot of innovations in technology. We innovated during COVID. We had a
Mm.
full suite of technology through one of our technology partners that we could track and trace and validate, vaccine cards.
Mhm.
But the way that we're looking at it, that was just the beginning. So we're going to be using this technology and some of the workforce for any incident that may occur, anything that happens that you want to track or trace as a company and really, make sure that your colleagues are cared for.
Well, it's interesting. You said it earlier, to be proactively involved to save money long term, right? So you're spending a little
Correct.
bit of money to put the right systems and processes in place, but ultimately the efficiency and the automation saves the government money, saves small businesses money, and I think that's really where your services are so complementary in that sense because everybody wants to save money, right? Including the federal government. And we as taxpayers want the federal government to save money. So that's really helpful.
But you also improve productivity. And I think
Oh,
that's
sure.
even so key right now in the industry. There's a limited number of colleagues.
Mm.
You want to keep them productive, healthy, feel like they're in a safe environment. Workforce absence. Why are people absent? Look at things globally.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's going to be a big part of what we're adding to our customers as well.
Yeah, I mean, we all know what it's like to try to hire right now, and employee retention is so key, health and
Exactly.
productivity being the foremost of all of those things. I think
Exactly.
we were burning out in the beginning of COVID, and making sure that everyone's happy and healthy. And, we say all of those things about taking care of yourself, and self-care is not selfish. But the truth is, we have to have that feeling about our employees as well. So I
Exactly.
absolutely understand that. So you're also in a unique place to talk about this. What are your thoughts? We've gone fully remote. I know so
Mhm.
many different companies and even federal government employees are going fully remote.
Mhm.
So what are your thoughts on that? And then what does it do for the kind of healthcare, and how does it change for employers and companies to have fully remote staff?
Well, it's interesting because we've always been about 60 to 70% fully remote.
Mm.
Our case managers, who are primarily nurses, our doctors, have always been
Mm-hmm.
remote. So we've been very good at how do you communicate? How do
Mm.
you make sure, you use technology to support management, load balancing? You're not sitting in front of somebody. How do you know if they're burning the candle at both ends, so that you can make sure not only the work gets done well, but you don't burn your clients out, your employees out. So we were used to that, but you threw a wrench in. We used to get together a couple
Mm-hmm.
times a year with our entire staff to talk to them face to face, to train, and that was missing. So we really had to develop we do a lot of, video calls, a lot of video.
Mm-hmm.
So it worked out okay for us. What we found as time went on, there's certain positions that need some face to face.
Mm-hmm.
We hired over COVID, we probably doubled our workforce.
Wow.
So there comes a time when you need to be able to get together. So now we are starting, we have opened up our main office, and we're hybrid, a 3-2 hybrid, with a lot of flexibility. And what we're seeing is people don't want to come back full time, but they are enjoying being together with their colleagues and getting that sense of teamwork. So, I think you can be very productive in the majority of jobs remotely. We just took our call center and made it permanently remote,
Oh, wow.
and
Okay.
it's working beautifully. It's
Mm-hmm.
24/7. It cuts down on commuting, but we are working to get our teams together for training and team building, and
Team building, yeah.
some of those. So really, again, we have stand-up meetings twice a week with all of our managers, mandatory, so that we can communicate. But as a leader, you really have to keep your ear to the ground and find out who may be struggling because they're isolated, and is that just that person, or is it a particular category of job that really needs some in-person time?
Yeah, I think the challenge as managers is to do a better job of really understanding how each employee works and works differently, because
Right.
the remote work affects everyone just a little bit differently. And to your
Yes.
point, I think we were super dialed in year one of the pandemic because we were so hyper focused,
Right.
and now we're also used to not being at home, or being at home, that it's important to continue to check in, to continue to see how people are doing, to understand what might be best for someone versus someone else. And I think the team building aspect that you talk about, just the socialization, has become really important. So I'm glad that you've gotten back to a hybrid.
We have.
We
I'm in my
we
office right now.
Yeah, right. There you go. I see that. I need to get over there too. So I know that you have a lot to do today. I really am appreciative of everything that you've done to spend time with me, but I'm going to give you the final word. And the final word I'm going to ask of you is, what's your message to federal agencies that are not yet working with you?
I would say, come look at what we have to offer. We would love to listen to you, to hear what your needs are. And I was told by I'm trying to be very good because I can't reveal who it was, but somebody who's high level in the government as far as contracting. And they looked at our products and services specifically as they applied to federal workers' comp and said, you know, you have something you've built. You built once, you use it many times. So I would say for federal agencies, if you're having any pain points around federal workers' comp, return to work, data analytics, really being able to manage your workforce, come talk to us. You know, we will listen, we'll tell you what we can do, and we have the past performance, we have the technology and the resources to help. And we're looking forward to it.
That is fantastic. Thank you so much. Thanks again for your time spending with us today. I love talking about innovation and the things that are genuinely changing in government contracting. So
Yes.
I appreciate it so
Great
much.
place to be, right?
It really is. There was a long time that I didn't think that federal government contracting was going to ever welcome innovation. So let's just have a sigh of relief for that all by itself.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you so much. We appreciate
Thank you. Thank you. So we've got the MCA Cares website up for you below, and we will have some written work from Lisa and her team on our website that you can check out as well under our blog. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we look forward to having you on the next New Normal in Government Contracting. Have a good day.
Thank you.